Hi boys and girls, today we're going to use some Model Magic clay, which is air dry clay, and we're going to make a little pinch pot. A pinch pot is a little bowl or vessel that you can make out of clay. This is about how big yours is going to be for the amount of clay you have in this package. Here you can see I used yellow clay and then I drew some designs on it when it was dry. So this is our project today. You may have gotten either red or blue, yellow, or even a white package of clay. Any of them is fine, and then you can add some color with some paint or markers later. So what we're going to be working with today is form. So the difference between shape and form is that shape is two-dimensional. There's only height and width. And form is three-dimensional. So we're making a piece of three-dimensional artwork, okay? A lot of our artwork so far has been two-dimensional, drawings and paintings and things like that. So form. So instead of making a circle today, we're going to be making a sphere. So that's the difference in our artwork today. How to make a pinch pot. A pinch pot is just a way of forming your clay. You can use the clay many different ways to form a bowl or vessel, but a pinch pot is just one way. You could use a slab, you could use a potter's wheel, you could use a coil method, but pinch pot is our way to work with today. And this is going to help us to get ready for next year when we make two pinch pots and put them together to make a pumpkin shape sculpture. So we're going to get our clay and a couple other tools you may want. You may want the popsicle stick from your art kit. You can use this to draw some designs, but we will need that for another project, so don't lose that. And then also you may want something pointy. Something you may find around the house is a toothpick or a nail. A pencil is not going to work because of the graphite there that makes the drawing. But you want something pointy, so find something pointy. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to open up your Model Magic, and it's kind of squishy. And it reminds me of a marshmallow when I open up the white package, not this red one, but it feels smushy, really soft. But what you want to do with it is you want to knead the clay. Kneading the clay gets out all the air bubbles. And in fact, if you got a little bit older package of clay, it might be just a tiny bit hard. You just have to work with it a little bit and get it nice and smooth. And it's not going to be sticky and gooey, but it's going to stretch like taffy. It reminds me of going to the Walworth County Fair and watching them make the taffy as it twists around. So you want to work with your clay, pull it, put it back together. This is called kneading the clay. If you do have red or yellow or blue, it might make your hands just a little bit colored, but it will wash off. All right, so let's look at our directions here. Step one, so we have our piece of clay and we're going to make it round, make it into a sphere. So we're forming it into a sphere form. I'm going to roll my clay. I can roll it in my hands. I could roll it on the table. Whatever surface you're working on, you want to make sure it's clean so you don't get the dirt in your clay. All right, so I have my form. The next step to a pinch pot is to push thumb in straight down. You're making the center of your bowl. So you're going to push your thumb in straight down. Don't push all the way down where it's going to poke through the bottom. And if that happens, guess what? You just start over. You make your round sphere again. The next step is to press and turn. You're actually pinching. So I'm putting my fingers on the table, okay, at the bottom, and I'm pressing and turning around and around. I just picked it up so you could see it. Pressing and turning. Okay. And you keep going around and around. And then you can smooth out if you have bumps here. You can smooth those out. And you can straighten up the rim. But it's as easy as that. Look it. I have a little tiny bowl. Now I got a little creative with my other one here. I made the edges a little bumpy. You see right there? Okay, so you can push those in. You can even pull them up. You can put a little thumbprint in there. It's up to you what you want to do. If you do something and you don't like it, then guess what? You just start over. So let's see that again, boys and girls. Let's see all the steps to our pinch pot again. So we form a sphere, like so. Then the next step, push our thumb in, and then we pinch and turn, pinch and turn. Make sure you pinch on the bottom, because actually I'm going to show you what happens if you don't pinch on the bottom. If you don't pinch on the bottom, let's start this again. I want to show you, because some boys and girls make this mistake, and I don't want you to make the same thing. All right, so let's say we start with our form. You push your thumb in the middle, and if you just pinch at the top, just right at the top, look what happens. I'll show you. And just keep pinching like this. Look, you have this big round base here. It's really thick on the bottom, and then it's really thin here. So you want to try not to let that happen. All right, so let's start again. All right, you might get this the first time. You never know. You don't want to actually do this too many times, because your clay is going to start to dry out. It's called air dry clay. So if you try too many times to make something, it's going to start getting cracks in it. So I've done it a few times now, but I can tell it's starting to get some cracks. So next step, push my thumb in, not all the way through, and then I'm going to pinch and turn. Pinch and turn. That's why it's called a pinch pot. Pinch and turn. And as I'm pinching and turning, I'm working my way up. I'm working my way up to the edge, and I don't want it too thin. I don't want to pinch it too much. All right. Okay, I can pick it up and I can smooth out some of those bumps I see there. Now with other clay, you would probably have some water to smooth out cracks and things like that. But this is a little bit different. It's kind of like working with Play-Doh. All right, so there I have my little pinch pot, my little bowl. All right, and like I said, if you want to get creative with your edges, you can. But now for the pointy tool, you can try this if you want. I didn't do this on this one. It's just nice and smooth, and I drew some designs on after it dried. Now, if you want to, you could add some designs with a tool. So if you wanted to add some texture and some designs like this, so it's kind of like making dots with my marker like I did, but this I am pressing them in. So it's a little bit different. I'm going all the way around. All right. I could draw some designs in there. I could use this tool. I could press in there to make some designs as well. But I think I'm going to leave it simple like that. And before I leave it alone and let it dry, I'm just going to pull up these edges a little bit so that it doesn't flop over. All right. Oh, one more thing you could do. You can change the shape. If you like more of an oval shaped bowl, look, you could do that. Or if you want more of a heart shaped bowl, you could do that. And I think I'm going to leave it as a heart shaped bowl. I like that. Okay, so now done I'm gonna let it dry for 1 to 2 days. Don't try to add any color to it while it's still wet because it's gonna smush together. All right, let it dry. While you're waiting for your pinch pot to dry, boys and girls, you can work in your sketchbook on maybe planning out an idea of how you want to do some designs on it, if you want to do designs. So to draw your bowl, you're going to make an oval, and then you're going to come down and then make a curved line. And this will be another oval. Inside is the inside of the bowl. Now if you want designs, remember mine, I did some dots. So if I want to draw dots around the edge, I could. If I wanted to draw some zigzag lines, I could do that. Whatever design you want to do. And if you remember the one that I already finished, so my inside one, I could just draw a circle, that would be the inside, and I could plan out my inside. So if you wanted to do something on the inside, you could plan that out as well. So something to do while you're waiting for your bowl to dry. And remember, it's going to take at least 1 day to dry. It'll still be a little smushy, but it'll be a little bit more firm for you to color it. All right, boys and girls, now that you have let your pinch pot dry, now you can add color or designs if you would like to. If you just want to leave it like this, that is totally up to you. In fact, I actually changed my mind. I think I am going to leave this one just like that. I like it plain and simple with the little dots there. That one is done. But this one, you can see that I added some designs. If you have a Sharpie at home, your parents have a Sharpie, ask them if you could use it. You could use this on here. But you're also welcome to use regular markers. The only thing is once you color with them, don't touch it right away. It's gonna come off on your finger. Let it dry. If you also have paint at home, you can use paint as well. But have out your design and your markers, and you can start adding what you would like. Just so you know, though, some colors aren't going to show up if you have a darker color clay. So you want to be careful of that. So here, I'm going to add just some more color to this yellow one here. So here you can see I'm just adding those little dots inside like that. So have fun, and I hope you enjoyed making your pinch pot.